Another guitar lesson from GuitarMadeEZ.com. This one today is going to be about choosing your first guitar. I actually had a comment on one of my videos from Target999, and this is in response to his questions. He's out there looking for, I guess, his first guitar, so I really want to help him out and point him in the right direction to picking the best guitar that he can get. So first off, starting off on guitar playing, whether you want to play electric or acoustic, you should start off on an acoustic guitar. Okay, so if you had hopes of going out there, finding an electric guitar, starting on that, first, it's going to set you up for success if you start off on acoustic, because the strings in the acoustic guitar are thicker, and so that's going to help build finger strength. The fretboard's a little bit wider. It's good to learn on an acoustic because it's all these basic skills that will really make you become better when you hit an electric. It'll be so easy when you finally move up or graduate to an electric. The strings are a lot thinner, the fretboard's a lot thinner, and also it's a lot less wide. It's a little bit more narrow. So it's really going to help you out. So start off on an acoustic guitar. This is one other thing I got to tell you guys, that this is kind of one of my pet peeves. Whenever I go inside of a Walmart, a Best Buy, a lot of these big box type department stores, they kind of recently got into the whole guitar selling business. They have these starter guitar packs for 89 bucks, 129 bucks. Stay away from them. All the guitars in there are crap, and it's only going to push you away from learning guitar. You're going to pick up this guitar, you're going to play, you're going to say, wow, this, you're going to be accustomed to guitar playing sounding like crap, and you're going to wonder how all the famous songs you listen to, how all those MP3s, the guitar sounds so pretty and good, and then you're playing your crappy $89 guitar and it sounds like crap. So stay away from those starter packs. It's only going to hurt you. I know it's only 89 or 129 bucks. You might say, yeah, well, I want to see if I want to learn guitar before I buy something a little bit more. Pay the extra 50 or 100 bucks and get a guitar for about 200 bucks. I actually bought this one for 150 bucks, and I'll get into this one later. This is an Alvarez. This is my favorite acoustic guitar that I own. So anyways, moving along from that, so yeah, find a mom and pop store that sells acoustic guitars. Find one in your area. Stay away from the guitar centers, the stores that stock so many guitars that they just don't care about what they have. If you've ever been inside of a guitar center, you'll see a ton of kids wailing away on guitars. They can't really play. They drop them. There's dents in all their guitars if you look closely. They're always out of tune. A lot of times they ship them from a colder place, and I live in Arizona, so they ship them from the Pacific Northwest all the way down to Arizona, and that climate change will kill the fretboard. It'll make the fretboard warp. So instead of being a straight fretboard, it'll kind of look like that. You can't really see it, but when you play it, you'll be able to find that out. It's just bad news, okay? So stay away from those big guitar shops. And on top of that, they're all trying to push sales. They're trying to get you into a guitar that's not necessarily good for you, just to get the guitar out the door. So stay away from those places. If you're in the Phoenix area, let me know. I've got a list of a bunch of really good places to buy a guitar at. Don't buy a guitar online. I actually have links on my website for a bunch of ALVAREZ guitars, and I would probably, even though I have those links and they're through an Amazon account, I would still try to refrain from buying a guitar online. The thing is, when you buy a guitar online, you don't know where it's really coming from. It's being shipped from someplace, and shipping it could get damaged. It's just kind of a mess, okay? So try, especially for your first guitar, avoid that. Okay, so when you walk into this mom and pop guitar shop, what you want to look for is an acoustic guitar that you just fall in love with. First of all, look at the price range and kind of look, an eyeball around, but find an acoustic guitar that you fall in love with. That should be your acoustic guitar. Don't walk around and say, yeah, this one looks kind of cool, but it's in my price range, so I'll grab it. No, you're going to find one. Guitar buying shouldn't be on impulse. You shouldn't go out there and say, I'm going to buy a guitar today. No, you should save up that money, and then when you find one, when you fall in love with that guitar, that's when you buy it, okay? So go, take some time, take an afternoon, go around to a bunch of different guitar shops. You might not find it that day. Give yourself a couple weeks. You'll find one in a couple weeks. So it shouldn't be an impulse thing. Okay, so you find your perfect guitar. This is what I do when I first buy an acoustic guitar, and this is great advice for beginners, is look at the acoustic guitar. If you know any chords or anything, or even have the guitar guy that's helping you play a chord, it should sound pretty pleasing to the ear, okay? So if it sounds pretty good, that's a start. Second of all, you want to make sure it plays well. Okay, and what I mean by that is the action. How high is the action off the fretboard? What the action means is how high are the strings off the fretboard. A lot of guitars, when they warp, they kind of bow inward. That makes these strings really far off the fretboard. It's harder to play, it doesn't sound as good. A lot of times it just sounds like crap. So that's what happens when you ship guitars from different climates and the destination is a totally different climate from where it came. So make sure the action is low and that it's easy to play on, okay? That's one thing. Second of all, do a visual inspection of the guitar. Check for nicks, cracks, anything that would stand out to you, just being a normal person not knowing anything about guitars. Check all around the guitar, okay? The fretboard, make sure the fretboard is somewhat lubricated a little bit. Make sure it's kind of humid. Make sure that where they're keeping the guitar is in a good place. Make sure that the guitar store is not a really, kind of ghetto guitar store, no air conditioning. That'd probably be pretty hard to come by, but still, I mean, just make sure it's coming from a reliable source. So check out the visual inspections. Also, check inside. There's a little hole for an Allen wrench in there. Make sure that that area is not all scratched and also stripped, because you're gonna in the future probably gonna have to take this in to have it maintenanced, and they're gonna basically have to make a few truss rod adjustments, and that's your truss rod that runs through there. On top of that, make sure the tuning pegs are in good condition. Make sure the guitar stays in tune. Have the guitar guy tune it. Make sure it stays in tune. Come back to it 10 minutes later, play some other guitars, come back. Make sure it still sounds like it's in tune. A lot of times these tuning pegs can be bad. Okay, also, go through the entire fretboard and pluck each individual note. Okay? Each individual note should sound, and it should sound good. This guitar actually is probably due for a setup or to be maintained, but some notes you'll find kind of have like a twangy sound. That's bad. I'm not really coming across any right now, but you'll know what I mean when you find one. All these notes should basically just climb up in terms of tone, and there shouldn't be anything out of whack, okay? So that's basically it. A lot of times people will pluck harmonics and stuff like that to make sure that the guitar, each one of these guitars is handmade, so depending on where you get it. And a lot of times if those harmonics work, that means that the guitar is in ready to play, great condition, it was made perfectly, stuff like that. The smallest little adjustments can make guitars not sound right, play horrible, or just be lemons altogether. Make sure the plastic up here where the string meets the plastic is still in good shape. Also, if you're really, really particular, you can pull these plastic pegs out that hold the strings into the guitar and make sure they haven't scratched or warped. A lot of times, after a while of changing strings, it'll be harder to push these things inside of the wood, and so you'll eventually have to have this part replaced. So overall, fall in love with your guitar, do a visual inspection, make sure it sounds good, little action. Let's see if there's anything else I'm forgetting here. Oh, once you're like, okay, this is the guitar for me, I love this guitar, what you want to do is you kind of want to use some bargaining skills, okay? A lot of these places, a lot of these even mom and pop shops are trying to compete with the Guitar Centers, the Best Buys, the Targets, the Walmarts, all these places that are just brand new into selling cheap, crappy guitars. So they'll make you a deal. And what you should definitely suggest is that, hey, I'm going to buy this guitar right now, throw in a guitar case. And a lot of times they'll say, okay, and that's a $50, $100 value. So have them throw in, and also when it's an acoustic guitar, have them throw in a acoustic hard case, not a soft case. Soft cases don't hold humidity as well as the hard ones do. The hard ones, if you drop it, it's just better for the guitar. So make them throw in an acoustic hard case. If not, walk. And chances are they'll probably throw it in anyways. If not that, see if they'll throw in picks, see if they'll throw in a tuner, see if they'll throw in any of that beginning guitar stuff. On top of that, a guitar strap. These are all things that you'll probably need right off the bat. A guitar stand, so you keep your guitar by your bed. One of my biggest things that I constantly tell you guys is to keep your guitar by your bed so it's always out and you can always play it. Not in a case under your bed, not in your closet, not in your attic, nowhere like that. Keep it in your bedroom by your bed, okay? On top of that, expect to pay about 200 bucks. This one I got for 150, got a killer deal, but I fell in love with this guitar. And this is an ALVAREZ guitar, which I'll go into in my next lesson about buying acoustic guitars. This ALVAREZ guitar is amazing. It plays better than my $800 or $900 Martin guitar, which Martin's kind of like the Porsche or the BMW of guitars. All right, this is more like your. This kind of has your. I'd say It's almost like your Honda Civic, but a flashy, upgraded Honda Civic with all the options. Because this right here, I think this guitar looks great. It plays amazing. It's even easier to play than my Martin guitar. My Martin guitar sounds really pretty, and it has amazing wood on it. But this guitar overall, this is the one you'll see in all my videos. So anyways, I love this guitar to death. Alvarez guitars are where it's at. I've had Fenders in the past. I've had all different types of acoustic guitars. This is the one that I stick with. Also, if you've seen any lessons with me playing a 12-string guitar, that's an Alvarez 12-string guitar. So watch my next lesson. I'll talk more about Alvarez guitars and why they're so good, and more stuff about acoustic guitars. I'm also going to show you how to pick out an electric guitar. So I hope you like this lesson, and check out my website, GuitarMadeEZ.com, and I will see you guys on the next lesson. Take care.